Yes, guys, and welcome from me. This is Championship Manager 0102, King of the Dugout, Season 5, January conclusion. The Christmas period is gone, New Year's gone, and this is where it's business end of the season, and it really is business end all over the shop. So let's fire this bad boy up. Let's start with the second division. This is how close it is. Absolutely insane. Connor's Football Heritage sit top of the table with a much more superior goal difference to Jesper's AC Run Mansion. I say superior. I mean, he is quite a bit behind, but do you know what? Goal difference means fuck all if you're a point behind. So who knows? But take nothing away from the chasing pack. Lee Sharple's Fritzl Palace are only 2 points off the pace. And let me also point out that Lee Sharple's has only conceded 13 goals this season. That is one cracking defensive record to boast about. And he's only 2 points off the pace. Mark Rucker's Orange is the New Black sit in 4th place and only 3 points off the pace. It's going to be so close. It really is. I think it's going to be about squad depth that's going to prove key for the final part of the season, particularly for the top two. More about that in a moment. But it really is. I think my favourites to go up was always them top two. And if you remember, I said I think Fritzl and Orange is the New Black will get playoffs, but I can't even pick who I think will win the playoffs. I still can't pick who I think will win the playoffs. And there's a part of me that hopes none of them will, so that way I won't feel guilty or sorry for the other one. But obviously, as it stands, they're going to likely to meet in the playoff final. But I don't take it away because it would be fucking brilliant. I know this is cuntish. It would be brilliant if both of them got promoted and Heritage and Run Mansion had to fight for a playoff. That would just be fucking insane. Over to the third division. It's just equally as close. It really is. Chicken Curry, managed by Trevor Choi, 67 points. Philip Durala, 65 points with Sunday Strikers. And Al Mo sent Helens Town, 65 points. It couldn't be closer, could it? It could not be closer. Murder on the dance floor, Stuart Danton, 2 points off the pace. Omish Rolling in FC, 60. And Blasphemians, 56. Sorry, Omis Rolling is Wayne Chester. Blasphemians is Adu. Now, again, going back to my earlier prediction, I said that Omis Rolling and Blasphemians would make playoffs. I think Blasphemians, I said, would probably hope to make playoffs, but I think they'd finish lower down. But I think they're proving me wrong. I think they'll get a playoff now. Who do I think will win the playoffs? Well, let's talk about who I think is going to go up first. I think my money was on Murder on the Dance Floor. That's who my money was on. I can't quite remember who else I said, but it's going to be between 3 of those top 4 teams. Chicken Curry, Sunday Strikers and St Helens. I think when Mark Whittaker did a bookie's favourite, he tipped St Helens. I've gone for Murder on the Dance Floor. Whoever don't make it out of those 4, I think will win the playoffs. That's the bottom line. I think those top 4 will all be the ones that go up. But of course, you know what? Who knows? You know, Wayne Chester on 60 is only 5 off the pace, and there's still a long way to go. 17 games still to go. Before we go to the domestic competition, let's go to the UEFA Cup then. There has been no action in January. Now, a typical rookie CMer. Jesper says to me on the last update for January, what about UEFA Cup? I'm still in it. There's no UEFA Cup in January. But just to remind you guys, he is still riding high in the UEFA Cup. And there you see, he's away to Dynamo Minsk in the 4th round, which will, of course, resume this coming month at the very, very end. Now, don't underestimate that away trip, because let's see now, who plays for Dynamo Minsk? Of course he does. Yeah, the one, the only, Maxim Sigalko. Who I don't think will be unlocked next season. I think it's more than 3 teams have got to be in the second tier in order for him to be unlocked, as in our rival managers being able to go for him. I think we've made an agreement. It's got to be at least, I think we said 7. I think it's 7 managers have to be in the second tier in order, because if let's pretend only 2 of our managers get to the second tier and we unlock Sigalko, one of them are going to get Sigalko, and you and I both know he's a bit of a fucking game changer. So the best of luck, Jesper, there. Let's now go to the League Cup. And this is what I mean about Connor. You know, he's involved in the League Cup. He's got 2 legs now. That is a tricky looking first leg, but in terms of stats wise, he'll be gutted. He'll be absolutely gutted. And it'll be worst case now. What's going to happen is they're going to score early in the return leg and have the away goal. But he's got, you know, Arsenal, of course, who were in the final last season against AC Run Mansion, are looking to go one better. They've almost got to the final, but we shall see. We shall see, won't we? Connor's got involved in that then. Over to the FA Cup now then. And of course, going back to Connor, he's got to have a replay in his 4th round match against Leicester. Leicester again. He's got to play Leicester in the semi-final of the League Cup, second leg. He's already played them in the first tie and drew 0-0 again. In fact, let's just show you that very, very quickly. Where was it? I've missed it. I've got a complete mind blank. There it is, sorry, 0-0. So he drew there. So, you know, it's very interesting indeed for Connor because he's got such a backlog of games. And with Jesper, he's in the FA Cup, as you can see right there. And he's got his UEFA Cup, of course, which will always take place on a Thursday until the final. So there's no rescheduling of those sort of games. Great to see Stuart Danton still riding high in the FA Cup. And there you see, he is in the last 16. And will he fancy himself against Ipswich? It's going to be a tricky game. I think Jesper's got a difficult looking tie away to Leeds. If Connor can come through Leicester, he's got to go to Stockport. I think he can do both. Okay. Finally, domestic-wise, the Vans Trophy. Now, let me remind you that the Vans Trophy, we saw the champion get knocked out in the first round. There you see, he got knocked out in the first round, Jesper Ronman. We had some big clashes, of course. Let me remind you, we had a couple of managers that joined from the second round. Don't ask me why, but it's to do with random shit. But that is where our second round, how our second round finished. And of course, let me remind you there that Connor is involved in that as well. So the quarter-final of the Southern section is there. We've got 5 of our King of the Dugout managers. We've got one clash, which is going to see Big Phil take on Mark's Orange is the New Black. And let me just see, these games are due for the 5th of February. So it's going to be an absolute monster month for Connor. You know, he's got games galore, hasn't he? I mean, what's that? He's going to have 9 games. 8 games in February alone. And of course, the FA Cup and the Vans and the League Cup could all go to extra time and penalties potentially. You know, and he's got a massive league game sandwiched in there as well, which is away to Orange is the New Black. Let's take a look now then at the player stats then. Ronald Gomez is leading the way on the average rating in Division 2. He's fucking phenomenal. He's won the player of the month, fuck knows how many times. He looks so strong. Leading goal scorer is Ronald Gomez. That's the league goal scorer. And in terms of assists, it's Ronald Gomez. So now you know why he's won the player of the month so many times. He looks absolutely ruthless. Over to the 3rd division. Assists is Chris Hargreaves of Chicken Curry and Jeff Pitcher of Omish Rolling NFC. In terms of goals, it's Kiko of Chicken Curry. Looks really good. And average rating is Dave Collins of Murder on the Dance Floor. We all love Dave Collins, don't we, on ODB? No doubt about that. Let me just check my battery on my laptop. Yeah, it's all good. So, you know, it's a bit of a variation in that division. And it's really hard to pinpoint where I think this is going to go. It really is. I mean, if I'm going to stick my neck out here, right, and tell you what I think is going to happen in this division. Because I'll give you my honest views, what I think might happen. I think, this is going to be controversial, you're all ready for it. I think it's going to be Big Phil who slips up in automatic promotion. I really do. I think Big Phil, he's been a little bit inconsistent with some games. But you know what? And then I think he'll come through on the playoffs. That's what I think will happen. What I want to happen is I would love to see Omish Rolling FC get automatic promotion and Blasphemians win the playoffs. But I don't think that will happen. But you never know, right? We can hope, can't we? What do I think is going to happen? What do I want to happen in the second division? Well, I would love to see, truth be told, I'd love to see Lee take the title and Mark Rutgers, Orange and New Black, take runners-up. Again, I don't think it will happen. I actually expected the top two to be running away with it a bit more, but it's been, and I think maybe, you know, the amount of games is taken its toll. Jesper, of course, with his UEFA Cup, he's been able to take advantage of a lot of money arriving in. But that don't help him here, does it? It really don't. Maybe next season, you know. But the problem is, one of these guys is going to have another season in this division, where, of course, they'll be joined by the other guys that we just spoke about. Potentially 4 of our guys, at least 3 of them, but potentially 4. So it's likely we're going to have 5 people in this division next season. It's more than likely we'll have 5. And it's more likely we'll have 2 in the third division. Likely we'll have 3 in the... it's going to be great, isn't it? It's going to be absolutely great. So the Kick of the Dugout continues. And it gets very, very exciting. Until next time from me, it's take it easy.